This is the SmartCam S800 4K webcam from EMEET. It's a half-inch sensor webcam that gives amazing results for half the price of similar webcams. In fact, it supersedes most of them, if not all. We're going to unbox, test, and compare it to some of the most popular webcams on the market, and the results might surprise you. Don't go away. Webcams have come a long way, especially with how streaming and gaming have become in the past decade or so. This means you have a plethora of options to choose from, with options ranging from few dollars to hundreds of dollars. The S800 from EMEET offers the best bang for buck for just $110. It meets the highest quality standards without crossing over to diminishing returns. In other words, it gives you the best possible quality at the best possible price. Out of the box, you get 3 items: a USB 3.0 cable, a user manual, and the webcam itself. My first impression is that it's built well and feels premium, a lot heavier than I expected. And it's a good thing. It's almost always an indicator of quality. No company wants to pay for shipping or waste materials if they don't need to. Part of the weight comes from the heatsink, which is almost unheard of on a webcam. This makes a lot of sense. 4K recording or streaming is very demanding on any device. You can easily test it on your phone by attempting to record a 4K video for longer than 10 minutes, and you will notice that it can get really hot. The overall weight also helps with stability. The base or clip is versatile and can be adjusted to almost any angle, since you have the added ability to tilt forward, and also feels sturdy and locks in place very well. The privacy cover is amazing. Not only does it look nice, but it's also very practical, since the wheel that controls the cover wraps around the camera. It makes it easy and fast to adjust. In addition to the privacy cover, you also have a light indicator that turns on when the camera is on. Next to the light indicator, you have the dual front-facing microphones, which we will test shortly. And on top of that, you have the proximity sensor, which helps with the focus. You have a 1/4-inch screw hole on the bottom, which I find a lot more useful than having it directly on the camera. This means you don't need to take off the stand when you want to use it on a tripod. The shell that houses the internals is made out of metal, which helps with the heat dissipation. It feels smooth in the hand, and the coating is soft and consistent. Overall, the build quality is really good. You can feel it from the moment you pick it up. The materials used are premium and feels well thought out and put together. The S800 features a Sony half-inch sensor with HDR capability, an f1.8 aperture, ultra-fast autofocus with less than half a second response time, and also uses AI to recognize faces and lock focus on them. Dual noise-canceling microphones and a fast 3.0 USB-A data transfer speeds. The S800 is capable of recording and streaming at 4K 30 frames per second or 1080p at 60 frames per second. The 2 front-facing mics are of decent quality. I don't like mics on most webcams, but it's always nice to have one just in case. They sound clear, and you have the added bonus of noise cancelling through the software. Just click this button here and it will remove the background noise. Very handy if you take calls outdoors or in loud places. I'm about 2 feet away from the webcam while recording this portion, and this is a true representation since this is how far you would be from the webcam when using the mic. The software is simple and intuitive, with all the options laid out on the right-hand side. And just like most modern cameras, you have the ability to control sharpness, brightness, white balance, zoom in and out, which by the way gives you the ability to zoom in up to 4 times digitally, and so many other options. You can expect to get additional options and features in the form of software updates. During the time I used it, I received 1 software update. The webcam works great out of the box, but if you want to take full advantage of the hardware, the EMEET software is a must. If you find it difficult to tweak the image profile, you can use the stored picture profiles with just 1 click. I will have the download link in the description box. I really like how simple and straightforward the software is. There's no hidden or complicated options. It just works. Regardless of how tech savvy you are, you will have no problem navigating through it. The Brio 4K is almost 1.5 times the price of the S800. It's usually the first option in your search results when you use the keywords 4K webcam. I have used it myself for several years now, and it's a decent webcam, but it only has a 1/2.8 inch sensor, which is 30% smaller than that of the S800. Coupled with an aperture of f1.8, it is sharper and a lot brighter and vibrant. But where it truly shines is in low light conditions. The S800 blows the Brio out of the water. While the S800 remains sharp and maintains details, the Brio image becomes soft and grainy. Not only does the S800 have an overall better image quality, but it's also ahead in the autofocus department. It is much faster and does not stutter or suffers from focus breathing. With a response time of 0.3 seconds, it's one of the fastest autofocus systems you can find on a webcam. It's also worth noting that I'm using the latest model of the Brio 4K, as there have been several versions over the years with minor upgrades on the hardware and no changes on the design or size. You no longer have to spend a fortune on a DSLR and a capture card to get decent footage. This is a solid webcam. The image quality, the ability to further customize that image to your liking, the form factor, and the build quality that features a heatsink for prolonged filming sessions, the super quick autofocus, and the ability to focus on close-by subject from as close as 5 centimeters makes this a very formidable option in the webcam world. And the $110 price tag is just the cherry on top. And if you manage to pick it up during a sale, you might be able to get it for under $100, which is absolutely incredible value. While shopping for it, you need to pay attention. The S800 is similar to the previous generation called the S600, and although they both shoot at 4K, the S800 has a lot of features that's missing from the S600. I will have a link in the description to help you land on the correct product. And by using this link, you also help support the channel. If you like this video, you will also like my voiceover playlist. That's all for today. I'll catch you in the next one.